I'm just a guy who loves Disney and has way too much time on his hands. If anybody from Disney is watching, please don't sue me. I'm here to rate, review, and describe all of your favorite things from the magical world of Disney. I'm File91e and welcome to my Disney News and Reviews. Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Disney News and Reviews. I'm File91e and Happy New Year. Now, I'm not going to apologize for missing last week because that's going to be kind of a thing this year. One of the things that I want to do this year, or that I want to say about this channel, is that I will be taking random times off. There will be weeks where you won't see a Disney News and Reviews. I'll try to post a bonus video or something just to give you some content. But putting out a show every week can be a little tough, and I just don't want this show to start seeming like work. So some weeks I just don't feel like going to work, and after 40 hours of working especially. So just know that from now on, there may not be a show every week, but that's okay. I think you guys can survive without me for 1 week. But I will be back the next week. I'm not stopping at all. I'm just, there will be weeks when I don't do one. So, yeah. But I hope you guys had a great New Year. I did. It was fun. I stayed in. It was really good. I stayed in and then I went to sleep about 5 minutes after New Year. All that stuff. I don't really go out too much. I'm getting old. Found out when he's getting old and he's staying in. That's right. I'm not sure if you follow my File91e Facebook page. Link is in the description below. I mentioned that I was thinking about doing a Pirates of the Caribbean marathon. Because I had so much fun doing the Star Wars marathon that I was thinking, well, maybe I could do a Pirates of the Caribbean marathon, because I haven't seen the Pirates of the Caribbean movies in a while, and that would be a good 4-movie thing to do. So I decided to. Why not? Let's do it. Let's get right into it. Kick off the new year with that. So on January 16th, that's a Saturday, around 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll be starting Pirates of the Caribbean 1 and going all the way through 4. So it should take about 10 hours, so it should finish around 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're interested at all, so, because I know a lot of you couldn't do it because or couldn't make it because it was a Thursday, when we did all this stuff, when I did the Star Wars marathon. This time it's a Saturday. It's a weekend, so hopefully you guys can, be there. So January 16th, I will be doing a Pirates of the Caribbean marathon, 4-movie marathon, and I think that could be fun. And if you guys have any ideas on what other marathons to do, I love doing movie marathons and doing them from the comfort of my own home with you guys chilling at your house, and you guys can be there with us. I think it's great. And if you guys have any ideas on what to do, try to keep it within a reasonable amount. Doing the Star Wars one was really tough. 10 hours is okay. 13 hours is really pushing it. 6 movies, that's kind of tough to do. But I did it anyway. And, it should be fun. And if you guys have any ideas, let me know. So, yeah, that's what's been going on with me this past week. Let's get right to the news. Well, we are officially in the new year, and Disney rang in the new year with all sorts of festivities. Be sure to check around YouTube and all of my favorite sites like www.magic.com or allears.net, or for videos of the shows. Epcot did a big thing. The Hollywood Studios did a big thing. It's just great. So check all that out for the New Year's festivities. The new year also brought around the end of the Osborne Spectacle of Dancing Lights. That took place in Disney's Hollywood Studios for a real long time. After a short extension of 3 days, the final performance was January 7th. For a video of the touching last performance, be sure to check out YouTube. I did check, I did watch it, and it was very heartfelt with the MIC See Real Soon ending. It was really good. They finally shut the lights off for the final time. So yeah, for those not in the know, the Osborne Spectacle of Dancing Lights is leaving because of the renovations coming to Disney's Hollywood Studios in the coming years. They're removing the Streets of America to make way for the Star Wars land. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pizza Planet and the Pizza Planet Arcade at Disney's Hollywood Studios will be closed for an extended refurbishment from mid-January on. The closure is scheduled to begin on January 19th through to November 7th. Although the refurbishment is taking most of 2016 to complete, it is understood that it will reopen toward the end of the year, still as a quick-service pizza restaurant. Along with the complete refurbishment of the existing space, more seating will be added along with additional registers to increase capacity. It isn't clear yet if it will continue to be Pizza Planet or if there will be a change of theme as part of the refurbishment. So that's right there by the Star Wars area, so I'm not sure if they're going to completely change it or keep Pizza Planet, or maybe move Pizza Planet into the Toy Story area and have another pizza area over there. I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all. On the Streets of America at Disney's Hollywood Studios, both the Phineas and Ferb and Lightning McQueen and Mater meet and greets, whew, that's tough to say, closed. Also closed was the recently built Joffrey's Coffee kiosk. The closures are related to the imminent construction coming to the park as part of its redevelopment. So a lot of Hollywood Studios news. Crazy. The Fairways course at Disney's Fantasia Mini Golf will be closing for refurbishment later this month. The closure is scheduled to begin on January 18th, reopening to guests on February 12th. During the refurbishment, the Gardens course will be open as normal, so cool stuff there. And finally, the Magic Carpets of Aladdin at the Magic Kingdom is scheduled to be closed for refurbishment early in the new year. The closure begins on January 25th through February 3rd, reopening to guests on February 4th. So there you go. Now I have some Disneyland news for you. Not too much, but it's it's enough. Christmas is wrapping up in Disneyland, but this past week, Disney's California Adventure kept the party going for the Dia de Reyes festivities. January 6th is Little Christmas and to some cultures, and it basically kept the party going with storytelling acts, arts and crafts, and face painting, as well as some parades and small shows. So that's really cool that they celebrate that. There's a big, Hispanic community, obviously, being in Anaheim, that sort of thing. So it's really cool that Disney takes the time out to celebrate that. And January 6th, my grandmother calls it Little Christmas, and she loves it. It's the 12 days of Christmas, that sort of thing. So really cool, really fun. Cool of Disneyland to do that. And finally, Disneyland is now getting ready for the year-long closure of a bunch of rides due to the Star Wars expansion. Everyone was taking their last cruise for a while on the rivers of America. Also, the Disneyland Railroad will be down, as the route will also need to be changed, so that'll be down for another year. So there are a lot of videos and pictures or picture sets up documenting the attractions before they are changed forever. So be sure to check them out if you're feeling nostalgic, but like the Carousel Progress says, don't stand in the way of progress. So Disneyland and Disney World was always meant to be changed and modified and upgraded. So they're not taking everything out, they're just modifying it a little bit. They're not encroaching on your childhood. So cool it, calm down, it will be awesome, trust me. So yeah, that's the news for this week. Let's get right to the reviews. Now the first thing I want to talk to you about today is Francis's Ladybug Boogie and Flik's Funfair. Now, what these guys say from Francis's Ladybug Boogie is an adaptation of the Mad Tea Party. Unlike most teacup rides, turning the center won't spin you faster. Instead, squeeze together on one side of the car and lean your weight into the turns. 3 stars. Now, this, like I said, is located in Flik's Funfair in Disney's California Adventure, and this opened with Flik's Funfair. I was reading something, and I think I mentioned this a couple times ago, that A Bug's Land, or the Bug's Life Land, opened because Disney's California Adventure did not have any real kid rides when it opened, and in an effort to upgrade it, they added this whole Bugs section, and basically it gave smaller children a bunch of rides to hop on and enjoy. Now, being that they're rides in the park, I do have to review them. I didn't get on all of them, really any of them, but I've been on them before, those type of rides before, and I'm a little bigger, and Nate and I can't fit on that. So I did get a good view of it. I got some footage and pictures so that you guys can understand exactly what these rides are. So Francis's Ladybug Boogie. It's well, like I said over here, it's an adaptation of the Mad Teacups. I kind of got also the same kind of feeling as the Mater ride, the Mater tractor ride, because it does kind of interchange, and it kind of it's almost like a mixer sort of ride. So that's pretty much what it is. You hop in, you're in these Ladybug sort of style cars, and you just go and spin. Now there isn't a spin thing in the center. You actually kind of have to use your momentum to spin these these cars. They don't want to make it too extreme for these little kids so that they're flying out and hurting themselves. Not that that would happen, but it'd be kind of weird, that sort of thing. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have there. I mean, there's nothing really to talk about. There is no real history to this. It's just a ride for little kids, and I think it would be good for little kids. I'm sure little kids will love it. They in here, I'm sure that they called it 3 stars. I'm sure that's just mainly for kids. It's not a neutral ride that you might want to get on while going to Disney's California Adventure. I mean, there's plenty of other things to get on with that. But I digress. So yeah, there you go. Francis's Ladybug Boogie. Now I do have a Nate rating for this. He gave it a 1.5 because he said Francis is his favorite Bugs Life character. It is voiced by Dennis Leary, so that's really cool. There's a little spiel there, so that's kind of nifty, kind of cool. So yeah, what am I going to give Francis's Ladybug Boogie? I'm going to give this 2 stars. 2 stars. Not terrible, not completely useless. People love it. It is a ride. It's very well themed in the Bugs Land area. But is it useful for adults? Not really. So that's why I'm not giving it any higher than that. They gave it 3. That's the thing. That's mainly they had kids in mind. If you have kids, kids are going to love this area. So I'm sure that rating for them will be higher. But for adults and kind of in general, if I'm comparing this to like Space Mountain, this is totally not. But it's not the worst thing in the world. You don't have to pay to enjoy this. So aside from paying to get in, yeah. So yeah, Francis's Ladybug Boogie in Flik's Fun Fair and Disney's California Adventure, 2 stars.
And now, a random Disney fact with File91e.
Did you ever wonder why there was a muddy brown streak going through the Liberty Square section of the Magic Kingdom? Well, there's some historical context to that. The brown stripe represents the raw sewage that used to go down the middle of the streets back in the olden days.
And that was a random Disney fact with File91e.
Alright guys, the next thing I want to talk to you about today, and could get a little long because there is a lot to this section. It's the Pirate's Lair on Tom Sawyer Island. Now, here, let me just go into this. Here's what these guys say the Pirate's Lair on Tom Sawyer Island is, these guys. It is a walkthrough exhibit and rustic playground, a minor attraction. Go mid-morning, late afternoon. The place is for rambunctious kids. Closes at sunset. 3 stars. That's fair. That's fair. There's not a ton that goes on with this, but the more I've gone on it, to the Tom Sawyer Islands at either Walt Disney World or here, the more I've actually kind of enjoyed this little area. But I'll get to that in a minute. Now this opened, this is located in Frontierland in Disneyland Park, and it's pretty unique in that it's completely separated. It's yes, it's in Frontierland, but it's not attached. You actually have to get on a raft to get over to this. It's really cool. So that's awesome. This opened a year after the Disneyland opening. This, it took a minute to build, on June 16th, 1956. And there is one in the Magic Kingdom and in Tokyo Disneyland. What's cool about this area is that this is like essentially a giant playground for kids. And back in the day, Disney wanted people to be actually able to go fishing here. He was a big fan of the Mark Twain books, Tom Sawyer and all that, and he kind of wanted a little island, kind of like Like, some of those little islands, or down the Mississippi, those little coastal delta islands, that you could kind of hang on with, and there'd be either a fort there or a little cabin, caves where you can get lost in. You can't get lost in these caves, okay? There is a definite end to them. It's not a maze. And he wanted people to be able to go fishing off the side there. There's a mill, and and you can watch the the riverboats go by. And when you actually kind of put your mindset into that, it actually looks really beautiful if you stop and take a minute to enjoy just all of what Disney or the Disney Imagineers had to build to make this kind of interesting place. So I would recommend you actually try it and actually go there one time. Don't rush yourself. Try to make this something that you can actually spend a little bit of time there. Not a ton of time, but a little bit of time there, because you might actually enjoy it. Is it extreme? No. But if you're a huge Disney fan and you actually want to enjoy proper theming and things like that, you might enjoy this. So, now this was renovated in 1992 to accommodate the Fantasmic staging. This is, again, unique amongst all of the areas, because the Fantasmic stage is there. It's right there, the Harper's Mill, or actually it's called the what is it? It's called Lafayette's Tavern now. That's actually they hold a lot of Fantasmic stuff there, and costumes and props and things. You can't see them, but they stuff all that stuff underneath, and that's where they do a lot of the Fantasmic work. So that's pretty neat. And then in 2007, they added a whole bunch of stuff kind of coinciding with the Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End premiere. They transformed Tom Sawyer Island to the Pirates Lair in Tom Sawyer Island, and they gave all of Tom Sawyer Island a pirate makeover, which is actually pretty unique and interesting. I didn't mind it. I enjoyed it because I enjoy the Pirates of the Caribbean rides. I'll try to take you through all the different sections. I did hit a lot of these. I didn't go to a lot of the, or some of the areas there. I mean, it's so much. You can spend a half a day on this island and still not see everything, because there's a lot to explore, a lot to see, and a lot to to do. I think we spent about 20 minutes to a half an hour, just walking around, and so we took a bunch of pictures and some video. So let's get right to what this is. Now I'm going to take you through each of these sections and kind of tell you what they are. I might show you some video in between, and I might show you some pictures of where we were. So here we go. First off, we got the landing, which is exactly what you think it is. It's where you land after you get off the rafts. Getting over, these are manned rafts that you get on. A bunch of people go over at a time. There's two, and they usually just kind of do a little circle, sort of deal. And it's just a landing place where you go, and then you see a little map where you can go off and venture out into the things. Now, there was a deal where if you found a paintbrush, you would get like some free passes or whatever. They stopped that because that was kind of a hidden gem. But ever since it became popular and people posting it on message boards and stuff, they stopped doing it, because people started expecting it. It was supposed to be just kind of a fancy thing. Anyway, moving on. Then you got Lafayette's Tavern, which was formerly the Harper's Mill. It's still Harper's Mill in Walt Disney World, but like I mentioned, this was the Lafayette's Tavern. There is sometimes a little kind of a music show going on in here, but for the most part, it is just Fantasmic storage space. Then you got the W. Turner Blacksmith, which is fun because you got a bunch of props and stuff from the Pirates movies. So that's really neat. W. Turner, obviously, Will Turner Blacksmith. He is a blacksmith, and so it's kind of neat that they put that right there. Then you got Dead Man's Grotto, which is a lot of the caves. This is one of the cave things in there. You can find the chest of Davy Jones. We didn't find the chest of Davy Jones. We didn't do that, but we did find Pintail and Ragetti. There is a couple of these little pop-up gags that you do. You'll try to grab some gold, and all of a sudden that'll trip the motion sensor, and then Pintail or Ragetti will pop up, and try to scare you. So that is a little scary. It is very dark in the caves, and there is some spooky music playing in the cave. So if your kid or little ones are very afraid of the dark and scared a little easier, just know that. Just know that. And then once you get out of the Dead Man's Grotto, you head over to the Smuggler's Cove, which is interesting because it has a couple different sections, and we actually went on 2 of those sections. You got the capstan wheel, which you can actually turn this wheel, not the captain's wheel, the capstan wheel, and you can turn the wheel, and you can actually hoist up this unfortunate man who was drowned, and it's a skeleton, and he's holding on to this wench. And you can actually hoist him up out of the water, which is kind of fun. It's spooky, but it's also kind of fun. There's a couple bridges. There's a suspension bridge and a pontoon bridge, which we went across, which was fun. That was kind of neat. It's the floating things, and that was interesting. There's also some bilge pumps that you guys can pump and try to pump the water out of the ship. That's really neat. So just some activities for kids to kind of go and blow some energy on. So yeah, there's that. Then you got Castle Rock. There's the Pirate's Den. There's the shipwreck area, which is apparently it's a minor feature, but it also alludes to the Kraken shipwreck. It's kind of a bummer. I didn't go there, and I love the Kraken. So had I known that was going to be there, I would have went. But that bums me out. I didn't see any notice of the Kraken, which bums me out. I love the Kraken. That was cool. Anyway, moving on, there was the Captain's Treasure area, which is basically where you would meet Captain Jack Sparrow. A lot, if you were going to meet Captain Jack Sparrow, that is the area where you would meet him. There's basically treasure everywhere. It's obviously painted and all that stuff. But if he's not there, you can use it as a photo op, and I did. It was really fun. So that was kind of a neat area. There was like a little gravestone and whatnot. Then you go right into the treehouse, which is the only remnant of the old treehouse, the Tom and Huck area. Tom and Huck's treehouse. They did add some pirate stuff to it, but for the most part, it's just still the old treehouse. It's just something for kids to go and jump around in and have fun on the bridges and whatnot. And then there is the Fort Wilderness campground, which is not really open anymore. It used to be, but it's not open anymore. It's mainly used for storage and stuff like that. They were going to transfer a lot of the pirate stuff into that and actually make it an area, but it never really was fleshed out. Now it's mainly used for phantasmic storage. You can't really go into it, but it does look nice. It's big and epic, and epic looking, but it looks really cool. And one of the really cool areas, or the cool things, is the paths that are there. You can actually walk a lot and get a lot of exercise there while you're looking across and seeing Splash Mountain or the canoes or the the riverboat, Columbia sailing ship, that sort of thing. It's just really nice, and the theming on this is outstanding. Even when it's when it was just Tom Sawyer Island, it was great. Just the fact that they built this thing with all these little nooks and crannies and hidden gems, just was fantastic to me. I mean, I took it for granted because I had never been on it before, and then I finally went on it one of these other times, and I'm just going around going, this is pretty epic. I mean, you're in this little area. This is a whole section that is, completely separated from the park. It's its own little island that they built and decorated, and it all tells a story. And there's just a lot of stuff to do and a lot of stuff to enjoy. And I guess because I'm older now, I can enjoy it. As a kid, it was boring to me because there was no roller coasters or anything like that. But because it was highly decorated and highly themed now, as I got older, I really appreciated it, and it became actually one of my favorite areas. Just like going to the Animal Kingdom early became one of my favorite things to do. Animal Kingdom later in the day, not so much fun, but Animal Kingdom just at sunrise, man, that's awesome. That's so cool. I love it. But yeah, that's pretty much what the Pirate's Lair at Tom Sawyer Island is. It's it is an excursion. It's something extra to do. It's not really a must-see, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was. I think I enjoyed it a little bit more each time that I've gone. So yeah. So let's talk about ratings. here is the Nate rating. Bam, there you go. What he said was, he said, tell them it's nifty. He liked the theming, and he liked the fact that it was something extra for the kids, but he said specifically, tell them it's nifty. Nathan thought it was nifty, and there's his rating. Now, what I think about this is, I was going to give it a 3, but I've actually notched it up to 4. I loved the pirate theming. I loved the little extras that they did with it, and there's a ton of stuff there. Would I love to see Fort Wilderness open up? Yes, but a life happens, and it's not like I'm shortchanged over there. There was a ton of stuff going on, and they're closing it for a year now because they're putting out, the area for Star Wars, or the Star Wars land, and they're cutting up the Rivers of America. They're taking a section out, so they had to kind of shorten this up and shorten the Rivers of America up. So they need people off of the island. It's great. It's very heavily themed, and there's a lot of stuff to see as you're walking around it. I really enjoyed it. If you've never been on Tom Sawyer Island, go check it out. Keep an open mind in what they were trying to do and what they have done, and consider the fact that they've built this completely from the bottom up, and you're on an island that tells an entire story. So I really enjoyed that, and I guess it's just because I have a romantic notion of the whole sitting on the thing with the sitting in the the deck chair with a mason jar filled with an awesome sweet tea and whatnot. Maybe it's because I live in Maryland or whatever. But I really enjoyed that, and I think you guys would too if you gave it a chance. So if you haven't, check out Tom Sawyer Island, or if you're in Disneyland, the Pirate's Lair on Tom Sawyer Island. I guarantee you'll have a good time, especially if you're a Disney fan. So give it a chance, give it a chance, and I think you'll enjoy it. So Tom Sawyer Island, or the Pirate's Lair at Tom Sawyer Island, 4 stars. Check it out. Awesome pirate stuff. It's funny how ratings come about. I was originally going to give it a 3, and then the more I was talking about it and thinking about it, the more I was like, I really enjoyed it. So I notched it up to 4. That's just how the ratings go. Or at least this year. Who knows what I'll think about it next year. Anyway, thanks for watching this week's Disney News and Reviews. Again, January 16th is when I'm doing the Pirates of the Caribbean Marathon, all 4 movies. Yes, I'm including the 4th movie, God help me. But it should be fun, regardless, and, I'll just be sitting here chilling, watching these movies, and, I'm actually, well, we'll see what happens in the next week as to whether or not there's a surprise next week. We'll see. If anybody from Disney is watching, please don't sue me. I want people to go down to Disney World and have a great time, especially at Tom Sawyer Island, or if you're in Disneyland, check out the Pirate's Lair at Tom Sawyer's Island. And if you're a kid, check out the Flik's Fun Fair and the Ladybug Boogie, parentheses Ladybug Boogie. That's pretty fun. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. If you are going to Disney World or Disneyland, be sure to go to allers.net, touringplans.com, www.magic.com for our latest and greatest Disney news, waltdisneyworld.com, and Disneyland.com is good too, straight from the horse's mouth. You can't go wrong with those websites. And if you're going to Disneyland and you want some Disneyland news, I get all my Disneyland news from micechat.com. Micechat.com. Yes. So this is the first one of the new year. Hopefully I'll do a bunch more in the new year. Like I said, I will be taking time off here and there, and maybe more frequently than unfrequently. I don't know. I'm just going to be doing videos. I'm doing videos for everybody now. And I'm editing, and I'm having a great time, and I'm just enjoying life one day at a time, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Also, I will be having a D23 magazine video coming up shortly, so watch that. Watch that if you want to. If you want to. I don't care. I just want you guys to have a good time and to keep being the best you that you can be. So, I'll see you guys next time for another Disney News and Reviews. Bye, guys.